What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, the MMA Mechanic, and we are going to do a recap video for last night's Fight Night main event between Tatsuro Taira and Hyun Sung Park. Not the main event, the entire card. So we're going to do a full recap video from the prelims all the way to the main event. Guys, I do have some surprises for you guys. We're doing things a little bit different this week. This week's recap video. Last week, I got a lot of messages saying, "Oh, we can't tell who the winners are and who the losers are. We don't know some of the names of these fighters." So I did something a little different this week to make it easier for you to identify who the winner is, who the fighter is, their names, all that. So just what you will see once we get into the first breakdown. Please leave me a message. Let me know if it's easier for you guys to identify who the fighters are. I know a lot of you guys don't watch the sport as much as someone would call it hardcore. A lot of casual watchers, so you don't know who some of the fighters are. So I try to make it easier for you guys to identify who those fighters are this week. Okay, so I need your input on that. Just like you sent me messages last week to try and clarify, I'll do the same this week, okay? Also, we were 8-4 last night on picks, so I got 8 picks right. I said 8 of the fights that I said we're gonna win won, and 4 of the fights that we lost, right? We didn't guess correctly. The other fighter won. So the other surprise that I do have for you guys is coming a little bit later in the video. So please stay tuned for that. Also, if you want to recap a lot of what I said with a lot of the predictions that I made, the prediction video is in. Go check that out after this video. Okay, so on to the first fight. So listen, before I start anything, Pier Rodriguez won this fight just by looking at this picture right now, this screen right now. Can you tell me who Pier Rodriguez is and who Ketlen Souza is? Ketlen Souza lost. Pier Rodriguez won just by looking at the screen. Can you tell me who Pier Rodriguez is? She won. All right, so if this makes this a little easier for you guys, please leave a comment. Let me know. I'd really appreciate it, right? So Pier Rodriguez won a split decision. One judge gave it to Ketlen Souza. The scorecards read 29-28, 2 rounds to Pier Rodriguez, 1 to Ketlen. Another scorecard read 28-29. Another scorecard read 29-28. Now listen, like I said, Ketlen Souza was going to be game. She's gonna be a tough out, right? And she was, but everything I said about Pier Rodriguez came to fruition, right? She wasn't afraid of the power. She wasn't retreating. She wasn't on the back foot. She was met Ketlen Souza a lot of times in the middle, and and they were striking. But the difference was she did a much better job mixing it up. She was landing hard jabs to the body, hard knees in the clench right up the middle to the body, hurting Ketlen Souza's body. Because guess what? What do you do with the power puncher? Attack the body to take the wind out of their sails, right? So those power punches aren't going to hit with the same impact if you attack that body, right? So a lot more fighters, need to start doing this against power punchers. This was a prime example of that. Pier Rodriguez mixed it up. She landed 7 takedowns. That's what I said. If we watch the Angela Hill versus Ketlen Souza fight, like I said in my prediction video, Angela Hill did a good job mixing in the grappling. That's exactly what Pier Rodriguez did. Landed 7 takedowns, got a comfortable split decision victory over Ketlen Souza. On to the next one. Again, guys, I try to make this easy for you to identify the winner. For Rafael, Estevam won this fight, and Felipe Bunes lost this fight. Just by looking at the screen right now, can you tell me who Rafael Estevam is and who Felipe Bunes is? Right? If you can't, please let me know. Now listen, guys. Rafael Estevam missed weight by 5 pounds. The winner of the fight, Rafael Estevam, missed weight by 5 pounds. Right? So that's terrible. Just think about this for a second. If you or me and you are 190 pounds, we're about to fight each other. We're 190 pounds, and we know that we're going to cut down to 160 pounds. One fighter cuts all 30 pounds. Now, just think about that. Some of these guys are cutting weight 20 pounds in like a week, or 10 pounds in a day sometimes. I've heard some crazy stuff in a day. So just think about you're cutting 30 pounds, and one guy gets a 5-pound break versus you. You see what I'm saying? You're draining yourself, right, to get to that, to lose that last 1 or 2 pounds, and a guy gets a 5-pound break, right? So that shows you the clear advantage that he has. Now, I did predict that Rafael Estevam was going to win by submission. He won by unanimous decision, 29-28. All three judges gave him 2 rounds and gave Felipe Bunes 1 round, okay? So Estevam did what I said. He got the takedowns. He landed ground and pound, like I said he would. He was very, very aggressive with the takedowns, right? Very aggressive, and he landed some good shots on the ground. Felipe Bunes, like I said he would, threatened a lot of submissions. He had a buggy choke locked in for like a minute, ending the round. Like he finished the round on a buggy choke, right? So he was very, very offensive off his back. Like I said he was. He doesn't just accept positions on his back. He's constantly working, right? So in the second round, Estevam comes out right away, pushes him up against the fence, and is landing ripping shots to the body. Again, another fighter that's utilizing the body shots. I think we're starting to see that a little bit more now. Ripping to the body on the fence, right? You know what I'm saying? Bunes does catch Estevam a few times. He caught him with a nice hook. Estevam just kind of ate it though, you know? Again, that's you know, also cutting extra weight, right? What that does is it makes your chin stronger. It makes your chin a little bit weaker. So if you have to cut a lot of weight, a lot of times it's easier to knock guys out. That's why, for example, this Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria fight at lightweight is a little bit more interesting than Max Holloway having to cut an extra 10 pounds and go down another weight class to fight Ilia. At that weight class, you know, Ilia being the stronger guy and still carrying a lot of his power made it easier to knock Max out because Max had to cut an extra 10 pounds. That's exactly why I said in my video about Max Holloway, right? I said that he's much better at lightweight because he doesn't have to cut extra weight. That's why weight classes are so important. So now Max Holloway moved up a weight class to lightweight. I think he's much better. He's much more fresh. He doesn't look like the life is taken out of him. You know, he's a much stronger fighter. He hits harder, right? So weight classes, different weight classes impact you in a lot of different ways, right? So again, Rafael Estevam missing weight by 5 pounds is huge. Like it is huge, right? And so that's the point I'm trying to make with that. But either way, you know, Rafael Estevam, you know, he in the third round, I think that Felipe Bunes, you know, he was able to take 1 round, but you know, the third round came, and all you saw was Estevam basically just blitz him, you know, takes him down, gets his back, locks in a back body triangle, and just beats up Felipe Bunes, beats him up. It just looked like Rafael Estevam was a fresher fighter. Again, he missed weight. He didn't have to cut that last 5 pounds. That does a lot for a fighter. Rafael Estevam gets it done. Unanimous decision. On to the next. We got Austin Bashi versus Yannis. We got this one right as well. Now, at this point, we're cooking. We're 3-0 on the night. We've won 3 in a row. Now, I did say that Austin Bashi was going to get a decision. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't aware of his submission game. You know, but it makes sense. You know, Austin or John Yannis he doesn't have the experience needed. You know what I'm saying? On the regional scene, he has some decent wins. I mean, the guys weren't really UFC level. He's never really faced a guy like Austin Bashi, who's a great prospect. Austin Bashi comes out, takes him down, gets his back, a rear naked choke almost immediately into the fight. Like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes into the fight, he locks up, he gets his back and strangles him out, strangles him with the rear naked choke. So again, we're 3-0 on the night. Austin Bashi cooks John Yannis. I'm very excited to watch. This is a guy you want to watch, Austin Bashi. He has a lot of potential. His striking is not that great, so you know, C-Rod exposed him, and I do see, you know. But if I'm telling you, if he can, he's young. He's 23. Maybe 24, but I think he's 23. If he can work on his striking, he could be a problem. He could be a problem moving forward. Klein versus Pulyaev. So this is the first fight of the night that we got wrong. I did say that Nick Klein was going to come in and use the wrestling. He's going to push him up against the fence. He's going to use the wrestling and the grappling to disrupt Andrey Pulyev's striking. He did that in the first round with great success. He took him down right away in the round. Pulyaev was able to get back up. Even when he took him down, he landed some ground and pound. Pulyaev was able to get back up. But Nick Klein took him down right away. Again, had his back, was threatening submissions. The round ends. Round 2 starts, and, Nick Klein attempted a takedown, gets shrugged off. Pulyaev lands a mean body kick. Hurts him bad to the body. Again, these body shots are crippling, guys. It lands a mean body shot. And, he followed up with a powerful left hand and just, finishes him on the fence. Right? So Nick Klein just, similar to the Mansour Abdul Malik fight, fast start and then just gets put away. Clearly, this guy doesn't have the ability to take a lot of damage. That's going to be a problem for him in his career, to be honest. All right. We have Tresean Gore versus Rodolfo Vieira. Tresean Gore misses weight by 4.5 pounds. Now, this one didn't go in his favor. He ended up losing this fight. Rodolfo Vieira won by unanimous decision. Again, guys, can you tell who the winner is? Can you tell who Rodolfo Vieira is? Right? Can you tell who Tresean Gore is based on... Right, so unanimous decision victory for Rodolfo Vieira. Scorecards read 30-27 in favor of Vieira, 30-27 in favor of Vieira, and 29-28 in favor of Vieira. So unanimous means all judges gave the fight to Vieira, all the judges. Okay, so, and this fight was a very interesting fight, because Vieira, I thought, was going to submit Tresean Gore, but he actually he just kind of outclasses him in the striking department. I mean, he was landing nice jab. He was stalking Gore just immediately into the fight, right? Stalking on Gore. I mean, he does land a takedown in the first round, which this is what I thought his path to victory was, a takedown and submission. But after the first takedown, I think he had 11 takedowns that were stuffed, right? So Tresean Gore did a good job stuffing takedowns. But Vieira was landing like these nice jab cross combinations and I don't know another time that I've seen Vieira look this good striking. He looked very, very good in the striking department in the area that I thought Gore was going to have the success. I thought Vieira was going to have to mix in the or at least get the takedowns a lot more. Maybe the threat of the takedown did something, but it just looked like Vieira just had his way on his feet, right? Second round starts and Gore is he's kind of stuffing takedowns, but, Vieira, he shot like 12 takedowns, like I said. So, again, that kind of disrupted maybe Gore's flow. But Gore just looked to be on the back foot majority of the fight, really. Vieira was landing nice body shots in that round, in the second round. He was mixing it up well, going up top to the head. Vieira just, again, he had advantages on the feet against Tresean Gore, where Tresean Gore, Tresean Gore needs to take time off, I think. Take time off and really sharpen up your game because he has potential. He does. But, he's just, you just came off, and I was wrong about this. I said this in my prediction video that it was within 2 months. It's actually within like 4 months, I think, which is still way too quick. He came back from a brutal beating from Marco Tulio within 4 months. You can't do that, man. You need to take time off. He was dropped multiple times in that fight, finished in that fight. You have to take the ample amount of time off when things like that happen. So he came back too quick, in my opinion. That might have had an impact on him in this fight as well. I mean, he missed weight. I mean, there's a lot going on with Tresean Gore in this fight. But in the third round, he continues to stuff takedowns. I mean, he's applying a little bit more pressure. He's trying to start striking a little bit more, but, Vieira's actually countering him in this round. Lands, a couple of nice leg kicks. He was just countering with straight 1-2s down the middle. I mean, he outstruck him, which I don't think many people saw happening. But yeah, we got this one right. We said that Vieira was going to win, and Vieira gets the decision victory. On to the next one. We got this one we got right as well. But this fight card was interesting. A lot of things that happened unexpectedly. There were some expected wars. Now, if you remember my prediction video, I said that there was going to be a lot of wars in this on this card because it was a sneaky good fight card. Rinya Nakamura, I thought was going to wrestle Nathan Fletcher and win a decision victory. He comes out and he lands a brutal kidney shot. Like he throws a body kick, folds Nathan Fletcher, bad, and just drops him with a straight. Ref calls off the fight, first round. This is the type of win Rinya needs to bounce back. From a bad loss in his last outing. He needed this win to bounce back. So this is a good way to bounce back. He's still a good prospect. He's still young, and he's still 30. Rinya Nakamura still has a pretty high ceiling. I don't know how high that is. I still want to see more from him. But especially with his striking, it looks to be something that he might be working on. So we'll see. But good win for Rinya Nakamura. We are at this point, I think we're like 6-1 on the night. Yeah, we lost the Nick Foles fight. We ended up 8-4, guys. So yeah, Danny Silva versus Kevin Vallejos. Now this is a fun fight to watch. But, we predicted Kevin Vallejos, so we got this one right as well. We predicted that he was going to knock out Danny Silva, but, he got the decision victory. He had a unanimous decision, 29-28, 30-27, 30-27. Again, unanimous means all judges gave him the win. All judges, not two, all of them. And so this fight was fun. Danny Silva's tough, man. So he's tough, but he just got outdone in all areas. Vallejos was slicker. He landed the better shots, the more significant shots, every round, in my opinion. I gave him every round. Vallejos out the gate, he immediately took center control. He was landing leg kicks and sharp jabs. He was outlanding Silva in the first round. Now again, Vallejos won. Kevin Vallejos won. Can you tell who the winner is? Look at the screen, and just look at the screen. Who do you think is the winner, right? So Vallejos, again, landing nice right hooks. He was the predator in the first round, right? And the majority of the fight, really. But Silva's doing a good job using his footwork, to kind of evade. And now I did say that Silva loves to roll with punches, slip punches. He loves to stay in the pocket and just kind of rip to the body. And he started doing that a little bit later in the fight. But the first round, it looked like he was trying to gauge Vallejos to kind of see, to just kind of feel his power for a little bit. Feel his power, see what it feels like, and then see if I can stand in the pocket with this guy, which he did. So Silva even landed a takedown in the first round. But again, Vallejos just landed the better shots in this round. He just was the cleaner fighter. Defensively, he was very sound throughout the fight, really. He did a good job slipping punches. He was very, 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 very good offensively, combining that with defense, right? So Vallejos was starting the second round, he was landing clean and left-right hands, landing more to the body, working Silva's body. His combinations were sharp, like I said. He's remained defensively responsible. So a lot of time you can match your chin behind your punches, behind your strikes, and he was doing a good job at that, keeping his chin tucked while remaining offensive. He was very, very, very slick out there, man. He looked good. Silva landed some good punches though. He lands a nice check left hand in this round. He also landed a nice elbow in dirty boxing range. So this is the round that one judge gave Silva. The second round, he did look good. He did have some moments in that round, but Vallejos just he took Silva down and just was just better everywhere. Even though Silva had success on his feet in this round, I still gave it to Vallejos. I gave all 3 rounds to Vallejos. One judge gave him a round. Gave him 2 rounds. Okay, so Vallejos was just better everywhere. All right, so Silva in the third round, he tried to take a takedown or try to get a takedown early. I mean, he was countered by Vallejos, and Vallejos took him down. You know, both men at this point, this is where they were in the pocket. This is where they were exchanging. You know, Vallejos was landing better shots again, in my opinion. You know, Vallejos even landed a spinning back fist in this round. So yeah, to my opinion, I think that Vallejos he's just he has a high ceiling, man. This is a guy you want to watch. High ceiling, very good fighter, and yeah, I'll be watching to see how he does moving forward for sure. You know, we saw that fight with him versus Gene Silva, where he tested Gene Silva. You know, Gene Silva started to you know, hit a flow state on him, but he tested Gene Silva. Now I could see Kevin Vallejos in a couple of years with a little bit more experience, or maybe even a year of more experience. We could see him maybe moving up the rankings. Listen, this is a very early prediction, but these two may meet again because Kevin Vallejos looks like he has that type of ceiling. He looks good, man. So, yeah, Kevin Vallejos, someone to be watched. Next fight on the card, Neil Magny. So check it out. I done told you. Neil Magny had the welterweight record for most victories all time, even more than GSP. He continues that tonight. Technical KO versus Elizeu, Zaleski, Dos Santos. So Dos Santos, Dos Santos, I thought, so this is a fight we lost. I thought Dos Santos was going to knock him out in the second round. Now Dos Santos came out very aggressive. The issue was he wasn't utilizing his kicks like he normally does, and you know some of those nice kicks that we've seen him, we're accustomed to him throwing. He wasn't leaning on that. He was leaning on a lot of wrestling, attempting multiple takedowns. When I think that he could have leaned on his striking more. He had the striking advantage, in my opinion. I don't know why he was doing that. Bad game plan. Second round comes. You know, Neil Magny basically is just staying defensive when Zaleski was attempting these takedowns. Neil Magny is staying defensive, and then you see second round come. Dos Santos gets a takedown, but Neil Magny gets back up to his feet, and then at this point they're in a clench position where Neil Magny has Zaleski in a clench, and he lands a strong knee. Right? And so Magny gets a takedown off of this. I think he landed a couple of these actually, and you saw Dos Santos do an alligator roll to try and escape the grip of Neil Magny, which he does, but Neil Magny ends up getting his back, pulling him to the fence like he loves to do, and then getting him down. Neil Magny, he flattens him, he gets his back, he gets a body triangle in. He flattens him out so he's on his back, flattens out Zaleski Dos Santos, and he's raining down just a vicious ground and pound. Pause. Okay. Pause. But he, just raining down vicious ground and pound and TKO's Zaleski. Good victory for Neil Magny. This was a good one. You know, he's 38 now, so we'll see where his you know, if he continues to fight. But, you know, hopefully he's no longer the gatekeeper. They don't give him these you know, Ian Gary matchups, these, you know, Marlon Morales, you know, Carlos Prates matchups. I think those matchups are past him now. Give him the Zaleski Dos Santoses of the world. Two guys that probably should have fought a long time ago. All right, so moving on to the next one. We got this one wrong, but it's all good. Next fight, Nora Cornolle versus Karol Rosa. We did get this one wrong as well. I said that Nora Cornolle was going to win this fight unanimous decision. Now I did get this correct in the sense that I did say this fight was going to go to decision. So if you put money on this fight going to decision, hey, that would have been a victory right there for you, right? But Karol Rosa got a unanimous decision victory, 30-27, 29-27, 29-27. For all scorecards going in Karol Rosa's favor. In round one, Rosa was just landing more, but I gave round one to Cornolle. I thought Cornolle was landing some nice elbows. She was landing some nice shots in the clinch. Rosa did land more though and had more volume, so I could see why you give her the round, but I just thought Cornolle landed the more significant shots. Round 2 opens. Rosa opens up with a strong takedown. She immediately transitions into hard half guard and lands ground and pound. Half guard is a great spot to land ground and pound because you don't have to worry as much. Like if you're in someone's guard, like we said in the previous video, that if you're in someone's guard, it's easier for them to attack arm bars and triangles and different submissions. But if you're in a half guard position, you're in a more advantageous position to get your ground and pound off, to get your shots off, and to kind of transition to mount and just different scenarios, right? So Rosa, landing ground and pound, was chasing the submissions as well. This was a 10-8 round. A lot of judges gave her a 10-8 round, 10-8 in that round. Round 3 is much of the same. So Karol Rosa walks away with a unanimous decision. On to the next one. We got this one right, and this is one of the fights of the night. This one was a war, just like I predicted. It was a unanimous decision victory, 29-28, 30-27, and 30-27 for Estevam Ribovic. Estevam Ribovic won this fight. Can you tell by looking at the screen who won the fight? Right? Elvis Brenner was the loser of this fight. Can you tell by looking at the screen right now who the loser is? Right? So Estevam Ribovic got a unanimous decision, but the fight was a war. I mean, very, very close. I gave all 3 rounds to Estevam, but Elvis Brenner was very competitive. I mean, the guy is tough, man. Like I told you, he took a beating from Joel Alvarez, a beating from Mektabek Orbay, wars. Now he's in his 3rd war in a row. And listen, Estevam Ribovic, the winner of this fight, Estevam Ribovic is quickly becoming one of my favorite fighters. He is he was in one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life versus Daniel Zellhuber. The best fights I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the guy's in wars. We saw, we see him out there time and time again, just in these wars. And this one, again, this was a fight of the night for a reason. Right? So in the first round, both men come out right away with leg kicks. Brenner just shoots a takedown and gets reversed. Estevam is landing some hard 1-2s. I mean, I don't know how much more of this Elvis Brenner could take. They're going to have to give him an easier opponent in his next fight, man. I mean, he was taking some hard 1-2s. The thing about Estevam's punches, they're very fast, sharp, straight punches. Very sharp straights. Right? He was landing crisp uppercuts, stepping knees. I mean, he was unloading on Brenner in the first round. He was landing bombs, right? So, but Brenner, again, he responded. He was landing hard straights, man. I think it was like very close on the significant strikes. Both men just have a strong chin, man. Elvis Brenner, like I said, he was cracking Estevam as well with some hard straights. Hard straight shots. Very entertaining first round. The second round comes, Ribovic immediately comes out with a lot of pressure. Throwing just shot after shot after shot. You saw, I think his significant strikes per minute is like 8 a round or something like that. Very, very high. That's a lot of strikes. Right? The guy landed this 4-punch combination and then just jumps right into an insanely devastating left hook in the second round. It was a beautiful combination. He was landing leg kicks, head kicks. I mean, he was just... Listen, the third round comes. This was the by far the best round, I think, as far as, both the guys are landing jabs, body shots. Brenner landed mean left hooks. I mean, at one point I thought he was getting an advantage of Ribovic. If this is the round that you give Brenner, I did give Estevam all the rounds, but this would be the round you give Brenner because Brenner hit him with some good shots in this round. But Ribovic would not stop pressing forward, no matter what Elvis Brenner did. Elvis Brenner would be picking up momentum, and Ribovic would press forward and crack him again. Fight of the night, one of the best fights of this year. Great fight. But it was topped, in my opinion, by Mateusz Rebecki versus Chris Duncan. Now, we got this one wrong as well. We got the last one right. I did say Estevam was going to win the decision, 29-28, but which he did. In my opinion, I thought it was a 30-27, but he won at 29-28, so we got that one right. This one we got wrong. I did pick Mateusz Rebecki to win by KO. Chris Duncan won this fight just by looking at the screen, guys. Can you tell me who Chris Duncan is? Can you tell me who Mateusz Rebecki is, right? So Chris Duncan won this fight, unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27. Duncan, I mean, listen. Now, one of the things I did mention in my prediction video was that Duncan did have a 5-inch reach advantage. That he couldn't have utilized that to better effect in this fight. He couldn't have utilized it to a better effect. I mean, he was landing long jabs. He started off the fight landing a nice long jab, cracking Rebecki. Rebecki landed very, very hard low kicks. This was, again, another fight of the night, right? So there's 2 fights in the night. This one and the fight before, the Estevam versus Elvis Brenner. But Chris Duncan versus Mateusz Rebecki, one fight of the night as well. Yeah, Duncan was just using his reins to land these nasty swiping elbows. When I say swiping, he was like swiping his elbow down on his like head, splitting Rebecki open in the first round. Had a nasty cut in the first round above his eye. He cracks him again with another elbow, leaving a huge hematoma on Rebecki's head. It was. He landed some vicious step-in elbows. Uses his reach advantage masterfully. Also, his head kicks were amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Rebecki, the reason why this was such a war, because Rebecki was cracking him too. Rebecki actually landed more in the first round. The difference is Duncan landed the more significant shots. He cut Rebecki. He left Rebecki battered and bruised. It looked like the Hulk from Marvel, right? Took Rebecki and swung his head, like swung Rebecki back and forth and smashed his head off a building. That's how battered Mateusz Rebecki looked after the first round. I mean, Duncan was cracking him hard, right? So the round 2 starts. Duncan lands a nice left hook, nice right, straight to his face. He lands a head kick. He rocks Rebecki with that head kick. He hurt him bad with that head kick, you know? And Rebecki's game, man, I don't know, you're getting battered and bruised like this, and he comes back, gets a takedown on Duncan. You know what I'm saying? Duncan works his way back up. Rebecki lands a nasty inside uppercut. Nasty. It was, oh man, it was such a fun fight to watch. At this point, Rebecki's eyes swelling up. Majority of the damage, you could just see Rebecki. So the first 2 rounds, if you were going to give a round to Rebecki, it would be this third. Because in the third round, both men they look like corpse. They look like, Rebecki was busting up Duncan. Duncan was landing more step-in elbows. I mean, just stepping in, taking 1 foot forward, and just meeting his face with a nasty elbow. Just brutal, just devastating, devious work. Both guys were landing looping right hands, looping right hooks. Both guys were landing hard step-in jabs, meeting each other with the jabs, literally. In the pocket, just in the center, yeah. One of the best fights I've seen. I highly recommend you go watch this fight. It was an absolute war. Chris Duncan gets it done. Chris Duncan is starting to prove he's a highly regarded prospect, man. This guy's good. He looks better every fight. He's very strong. He has deceptive striking. You don't think his striking is effective until he hits you, man. He hits hard. Has some amazing kicks. He landed some great kicks on Rebecki in this fight. Chris Duncan's a guy to watch moving forward. On to the next, we got the main event, Tatsuro Taira versus Hyun Sung Park. Hyun Sung Park came out of this very cautious, very tentative. He looked like he just was, concerned, right, with the takedown. Which if Taira wants to get your back, he's going to get your back. Tatsuro Taira is the winner of this fight. Can you tell who the winner is? Just look at the screen. We got this one right, guys. I said that this was going to be a rear naked choke submission, and that's what happened. So Taira comes out in the first round. He rocks Hyun Sung Park and hurts him badly in the first round. And again, I think this is because Hyun Sung Park was afraid of the takedown, because we've seen Hyun Sung Park walk guys down and knock them out, walk guys down, take them down, and choke them out. But you could tell just immediately into the fight that this was a mismatch. Again, guys, Tatsuro Taira was supposed to fight Amir Obazi, who's ranked above him. So, they had to find a last-minute replacement. And Hyun Sung Park stepped up. Right, Hyun Sung Park's nowhere near the rankings. So him accepting this fight would have been huge would have been a huge win for his career. That would have catapulted him up like very, very, very quickly, right? But Taira gets the takedown immediately into the second round. He takes his back and locks in a body triangle and strangles Hyun Sung Park with a rear naked choke. Strangles him badly. So this one we got right. Now, guys, I did say we have another surprise. We have the championship series coming this week, this upcoming week. We are going to start rolling out different factors on, qualifications to becoming the GOAT. As you saw in the downfall of our legends video. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out after this. I'll put a link to it in the descriptions. The downfall of our UFC legends video is what was the first video of the championship series. We've officially named it the championship series, so the second video will be coming this week, and these are what will qualify you to become the GOAT, right? So the downfall of the UFC legends does highlight the first qualification. We are going to get into the second qualification. Guys, my GOAT list is going to have a point system. We want to make sure we do this right. So each video is going to break down what the qualifications are, and as we near making the GOAT list, we'll start breaking down what the point systems are. Okay, so guys, stay tuned for that. The championship series officially has been rolled out. We've already had a video, the downfall of UFC legends. Go check that out if you haven't already. And yeah, it's your boy, the MMA Mechanic. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh yeah, also hit the comment too, please. I need to know what you guys are thinking. What do you think about the championship series coming next week? Love.